Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to look at the chart for legendary actor, activist Michael J. Fox. If you look to the eastern horizon when he was born using sidereal Vedic zodiac, the true placement of the planets, you would see the constellation associated with Libra rising at 1 degrees. First, we're going to look and see how the planets are operating, what attributed to his success and shortcomings, and then we'll look and see at the timing of events, and then we'll look and see what kind of remedies, planetary remedies, would be helpful. First, his sun rules the house of income and fulfillment of desires. It is placed in the 8th house of challenges, vulnerabilities, and so this makes Sun weak. So he did struggle with income early on, had a lot of setbacks, and this affected his diet, which he said McDonald's was his nutritional support, and then it also affects the immune system, autoimmune illnesses. Having Sun there gives him the ability to have income through researching different roles that he was playing. 8th house is the house of research as well. Moon is fairly strong. It is ruling the house of career, placed in the house of partnerships. So all actors' career definitely depends on their agent and partnerships with other people. And in fact, he ended up marrying his co-star, Tracy. And let's see here. And the shows that he was in had a lot to do with relationships. His first show, Family Ties, and then Spin City. I did get a lot of support from his mom. She was also an actress. Mars is just slightly weak in old age. It is ruling the house of partnerships, and it is placed in the career house. So again, connects this connection with partnerships in his career. Mars, because it is slightly weak, it can cause this self-attack, which is autoimmune. Mercury, any multiconal sign found in the 6th, 8th, or the 12th house becomes functional malefic. So we see in the 12th house the sign of Virgo ruled by Mercury. Mercury is placed in the house of good fortune, and it gives him the ability to separate from who he is, to take on different acting roles. The 12th house has a lot to do with movement, living in foreign places or moving a lot, and he moved a lot as he was an army brat. They moved around a lot. Now, this also gives him the ability to hide his disease for many, many years. In fact, he said in his documentary that if other people didn't know, it didn't exist. So a form of denial. It did lead him to become an alcoholic, addictive. 12th house has addictions. Mercury also affects the nervous system, neurological. Parkinson's which he has, is a neurological brain disorder, causing tremors, affecting the nervous system. He became an advocate. 12th house has to do with service too, and became an advocate for research for Parkinson's. I think Mercury gave him a sense of humor, and he did say that the tremors, he was never really in the present moment with his family or himself. He was always running, and the tremors shocked him into being here in the present moment. Jupiter is ruling the house of success. It is placed in its own, in the house of happiness. And so his happiness comes through his family and his success, and his ability to be an optimist and always moving forward. The it's that third house has to do with performing arts and acting. Um, then we have weak, afflicted by Ketu Venus. So Venus is the ruler of the chart, and it is the prime indicator in this situation for his health, his vitality. And it the first house is the head, the brain, and gave him good looks. A very handsome guy, likable, very charismatic, magnetic. Give him ability to act. Venus has to do with entertainment. Um, but because it's afflicted by Ketu, extremely Vata, uh, deranged, had, see, he could never stop moving, can't stand still. People kept telling him throughout the documentary, for instance, he was a kid, to slow down. Um, it brought on some setbacks, and Parkinson's is an autoimmune issue, brain disorder, where the cells attack themselves um, and causing tremors and eventually affecting his ability to walk and speak. Now, Saturn rules the 11th house. 11th house has to do with creativity and entertainment. It's placed in his fourth house of happiness. Uh, so I think it gave him discipline to never give up because he definitely had a difficult time breaking into the business. He was short, Canadian. Yeah, just definitely had a difficult time. But yeah, gave him a lot of discipline. So Saturn and Moon, I think, are some of his strongest, and Jupiter, strongest active. Give him the optimism, the discipline, the focus, and yeah. Then Rahu and Ketu are always can be challenging. This K2 in the house of entertainment and creativity, Rahu giving desire for um, good income and fulfillment of desires, learning to balance those two. Now, they are almost within the 5 degree orb of the rising sign degree. So, Rahu and K2. K2 is not only afflicting Venus, let's see, Rahu's afflicting Venus, but they are K2 is afflicting the first house. Again, this is the body, Parkinson's, the brain. So let's look at the timing of events. His big debut, Midnight Madness, in 1980 during a Saturn period, Saturn ruling the house of entertainment. He did want to play hockey, but kept getting like a 60 stitches and fell a lot. So he gave that up early and tried acting. In 82, he started Family Ties. That was definitely a big break during a Venus period. Venus, again, entertainment, um, his purpose, fulfilling his purpose as an actor. 85, biggest break. You know, this turned him into a household name. Back to the Future during a Jupiter period. Jupiter bringing great, ruling the house of success. Got his first Emmy for Family Ties in 87 during a Saturn period, getting recognition. And then in 88, he got married during a Mercury period, big change in his life. In 89, ruling the house of, end of being separate. So he was together with her. She was his co-star in Family Ties. 89, they had a son during a K2 period, K2 sitting in the house of children. In 91, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's after drinking a lot one night and seeing his little finger shake. And if you look at that chart in 91 when he was first diagnosed or starting symptoms, you can see Rahu and Ketu on the circular chart on the left, the outer circle where the planets were around that time. Inner circle are his natal planets, birth chart planets. You see Rahu and Ketu close to the rising sign degree, afflicting 6 out of the 12 houses, especially the 6th house of illness, 8th house of chronic illness, life-changing events, and then the 12th house of major issues. And then we have, and he was only 29 years old, which is unusual because Parkinson's is considered more of an older age illness. And this was during a Venus period, Rahu. Venus, again, this brain, the cells attacking themselves, but really triggered by Rahu and Ketu, I think. In 95, he had twins during a Saturn period, Saturn ruling the house of children. 97, brain surgery during a Mercury period, Mercury ruling the house of surgery. 98, he came out about his disease to the public during a moon period, moon signifying the public. In 2000, he retired during a Rahu period, causing a change in his income, sitting in the house of income. His fourth child was born in 01 during a Jupiter period, Jupiter signifying children. And in 22, he got honorary Oscar and made this Apple documentary about himself called Still. And still means, can't sit still, even now. And that's during a Saturn period. Saturn, again, all about entertainment. What could be done to strengthen the chart? Well, he's already doing charity work, which would be helping K2, Rahu, and Mercury, transform them. We don't want to make them stronger. But for the rest of the benefic planets, which are many are weak, it would be helpful. My favorite remedy, which is a kavash, a silver locket containing the Devata yantras for his benefic planets. If you'd like to see a kavash, get a reading, or learn Vedic astrology, go to www.vastucreations.com. Thank you so much for listening.